pound-for-pound fighter is flanking him off of his right arm.
I really don't care about it. I had a bad performance tonight. That's all I'm really focused on.
So Shakur Stevenson was booed out the arena. With one of the most inactive and worst performances in boxing history.
Let those hands go! Let them know.
Now, a lot of you are blaming his fear of De Los Santos's power to be the cause of why he was so inactive.
No, la que le va a caer a Shakur.
Yo te digo, esto les pasa por juntarse con guardia en vez de comprarle.
But Shakur Stevenson said that he was fighting one-handed. Well, I went by the numbers, looking at CompuBox, and I can prove to you that indeed Shakur Stevenson may have just been injured fighting one-handed. We conducted a poll on this channel asking if you believe Shakur Stevenson when he said he was a one-handed fighter against Santos. 7.6 thousand of you voted, and 59% of you believes that Shakur was cap.
This all cap, man. That shit all hot air, bro. He really ain't out here like that, man.
With 2 uninjured hands against Santos. The majority of you believe Shakur was being overly cautious of Santos's power, which was the cause of his inactivity in their fight. Many of you referenced his fight with the hard-hitting Nakatala as proof of Shakur being inactive and cautious when facing a power puncher. Well, I have the CompuBox numbers, and after looking at CompuBox, I can prove by the numbers that Shakur having a hand injury is highly probable. We will be looking at Shakur's last 4 fights where he went the distance, not including fights resulting in a stoppage because it will skew the data. I will be comparing his output and his opponents with each fight to determine the cause of Shakur versus Santos being one of the most historically inactive fights of all time. Starting with Shakur versus Nakatala. Total punches landed, Shakur 114 out of 304. Nakatala 28 out of 305, totaling 142 total punches landed. Shakur versus CASHOUT. Total punches landed, Shakur 199 out of 531. CASHOUT 60 out of 483, totaling 259 total punches landed. Shakur versus Valdez. Total punches landed, Shakur 189 out of 580. Valdez 180 out of 508, totaling 299 total punches landed. Now Shakur versus Santos. This is the fight that's in question. Total punches landed, Shakur 65 out of 209. Santos 40 out of 316, totaling 105 total punches landed. So, by the numbers, the fans, you are correct that Shakur's approach to the Santos fight is comparable to his approach to Nakatala, with those 2 fights being the least active. 142 total punches landed in the Nakatala fight and 105 total punches landed in the Santos fight. Now, if you look at his opponents, they put on some horrific displays themselves. Nakatala only landing 28 punches and De Los Santos only landing 40 punches. Both of them throwing very little punches as well, around the 300s, 316, 305 for Nakatala. And you're wondering, why is that? Well, Nakatala and De Los Santos, they may have just had the same approach to Shakur Stevenson to counter him, wait on him, counterpunch him. But Shakur Stevenson being a natural counterpuncher, it made the total inactivity of the fight extremely low, which explains Shakur Stevenson's low activity against them. CompuBox proves that when Shakur fights more aggressive fighters, his punch activity increases. Now, that explains why his activity was low versus Nakatala and De Los Santos. But why was it so low against Edwin De Los Santos? When you look at the total punches landed by Shakur in both fights, Shakur landed 43% less punches in his fight against Santos, which is close to half the punches landed. And he threw 32% less punches against Santos. And to me, that explains it. When you're landing almost half your punches and you only land 21 punches with your left, then you were pampering your left. Why? Because he must have been injured.
Shakur, you seem like a one-handed fighter tonight. You only landed 21 left hands. Was your left hand hurt?
Hey, listen here. I don't got nothing to say about that. I don't make no excuses.
Don't forget, he did knock down Nakatali. No knockdowns at all against De Los Santos. Hell, no action against De Los Santos. But I think by the numbers, this proved that Shakur Stevenson was extremely inactive against De Los Santos. One, because De Los Santos was waiting on him, not being active himself, and Shakur Stevenson naturally not being an aggressive fighter. But two, landing close to half the punches he did against Nakatali shows that he was using half of his attack fighting one-handed. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. ShowBizz, the adult. I'm out.